Hey Angels, this is the weekly reading. I just randomly, literally just got up and decided, like, let me do some letters. So these are letters that, you see, we got this from the Museum of Ice Cream. It has to be a couple years ago, and I've not used them on this channel. My daughter had gotten invited to a birthday party at this place, and they went with the pandemic. I never know how long ago things were anymore. If it was a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I'm thinking it probably had to be at least 3 years because the pandemic was 2 years, and I don't think we went during that period. In any case, I haven't used them on this channel, but I'm using them today. Just literally was ready to start the reading and just was like, ooh, let me get those letters, and when I got up and went to the shelf and got them. So let's see who comes out. All right. I think that's plenty. Just in case you guys can't see what all we got here. We got H, E, J, K, Q, I, double I, N, actually double N too. See another one over here. Is this an N also? No. Z, P, U, double U's also. It came out more than once. I just think that's even like more so the energy that this somebody with this initial may be significant to you, to somebody who is tuning in or who will tune into this reading. V, R, G, A, S, and O. If you didn't see your letters, your initials, or your significant others or special person's initials, don't feel bad. You know, if as long as you resonate with something else in the reading, then reading is still for you. All right. And, you know, people tend to resonate with something in my reading. If you find your way to this channel, use it as a message for you, because it's not easy to find your way to this channel. I've been shadow banned for the past several years, and people who subscribe to me and follow me very intentionally often themselves cannot find me. They type in my name and I don't even come up. Okay, YouTube or the powers that be, whatever, does not want me viewed. But that's a whole other story that I'm not going to get into. We're starting with Justice from the Before the Tarot deck. Justice. Somebody's going to get their just due in a very positive way this week. A Libra may be involved in this situation specifically. Can be an actual legal situation, does not have to be. Just the right thing being done, or some right being done by you this week. We do have another major arcana behind it, so I want to go ahead and mention that. And it is the High Priestess. Okay, this is how she looks when she's upright. High Priestess is a Gemini or a water sign. And that High Priestess behind it, because she's in reverse, I think may not realize that justice is going to come her way. So it could be totally unexpected, and or she has envisioned this justice coming in a different way, or maybe in a a lesser way, a greater way, or through some other means, not as it's actually going to come. So she may have some intuition about it. It's not accurate. but something is indeed happening. Oh, and here we are back to justice. With the next deck, we're beginning with expectation. I think there's a message with these two. Just the cards as the decks as they are. Expectation. The next card is family room. It's in reverse. So expectation, again, this is probably like that high priestess energy. Somebody is expecting something. Their intuition is telling them that something is coming. And maybe something that they deserve is coming. But what they've imagined, what they've envisioned, isn't exactly what's happening or what's coming. And what you may be expecting or awaiting is a return of a situation or a person that, you care about. There's some emotions and or, maybe love specifically invested here. Up right behind this Knight of Cups, who may be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I paused because I had a thought coming into my mind too that the devil represents the sign of Capricorn, and Pluto, one of the rulers of the signs of the sign of Scorpio, is currently located in Capricorn. So that may have something to do with this situation too, and may affect different people differently depending upon in what house of theirs that would land. So like for me as a Gemini, Capricorn is my 8th house of shared resources. So that's where Pluto would be. So there could be an emotional situation, something I care about, something where I am due justice or maybe feel justice coming that involves maybe money or property or, something having to do with my family, my lineage, my ancestors, my parents, my household, some sort of shared resources that is happening in my favor, right? Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. For others, this may be a romantic situation. And not only may somebody be returning to you, they might be returning to you specifically because they've been obsessing about you. Crazy. They, this has like some really high sexual energy coming from it too. Like they want to, this person wants to be close to you. Let's put it that way. They want to feel you, and perhaps that's what you want too. And that's why you would, feel that it is justice, upright, that this is happening, that this person is returning. And they're going to return with some sort of offer. And you may feel that's justice too. Like, you've been waiting, you've been patient, you're deserving of them to come to you. It may be specifically masculine traveling to feminine, right? With this expectation being on the part of a female, at least in the card. And, she may feel like it's time, and that's what she deserves. And so he maybe been trying to figure out how to plan it, how to come and go about it, and so sort of obsessing about it. And the next card sort of supports that as well. It's the Page of Wands, so the Page of Wands is about an opportunity, but when it's in reverse, it's often about an opportunity that's been delayed or like a dream deferred or something. So he has probably thought about this for some time. And again, you're waiting. There's an expectation that it's going to happen, but it has not happened yet. It is happening. Let's cut these two. Seven of Pentacles. So again, this is another indication of waiting patiently to harvest, the fruits of your labor. Those things that you've put energy and effort and emotion perhaps into, bearing fruit and you collecting them. And it's kind of like an indication that there's, this is going to continue to sort of provide you with that fruit. He's taking one of the pentacles away. He's leaving with his hoe. He's leaving with his hoe. Maybe he is, and maybe by several meanings of the word hoe, possibly he's leaving. I just cracked myself up thinking about a different meaning. But there's more behind this. There's others. that he can pick up later, right? Because he's worked hard for all of these. Lastly, nothing showing on this deck. I still want to mix them up again. Now we do have a message showing you are a heaven-sent earth angel who inspires me to be my best self. Okay, so let's see what we got this week. The card most directly representing us this week is the Knight of Swords in reverse. Surrounding energy. The Two of Swords, also in reverse. Work and finance. The Ace of Pentacles, also in reverse. I'm feeling that this all has to do with Mercury retrograde. Like, why reverse? This was yellow. Okay. Love and relationship. The Moon, upright. Physical health. The Hermit, upright. Maybe I should move all these up. Yeah. That was yellow. So last is spiritual health. The Page of Swords, upright. Is everything in frame now? We could do a little bit better than that still, too. All right. There we go. All right, so our main focus, again, is the Knight of Swords. In consideration that I believe of this deck, the overall energy was Justice. Upright. Yeah, it is. Well, let me show you. It is. I'm going to take this as positively as possible, this Knight of Swords. And to say, because maybe things are going our way, there could be somebody who's jealous, or who tries to prevent things from going our way, who tries to create chaos in our life. And we just may need to be on our guard a little bit, particularly with people that are new to us, you know, like hashtag no new friends. Maybe not this week. Maybe you don't need any new ones, but if you do take on some new people in your life, someone may come into your life who's not all that trustworthy. And they're not necessarily like a thief or anything, you know, but I am thinking about like the Seven of Swords, maybe again, because our overall energy is justice. So it's like about doing the right thing. So the opposite of the right thing is the wrong thing. And that would be like Seven of Swords energy, perhaps. They're not necessarily a thief who would take something tangible from you. But they may be a thief of your energy, you know, or your peace. Again, they may try to cause or create chaos in your life. Another word for thief of energy may be like an energy vampire. This person can be. But it could be somebody who tries to disrupt your peace, cause you a problem. Again, maybe because they are jealous or something. If somebody has travel plans, and we've been seeing this a lot lately, if you've been watching what's been going on with the airlines, particularly was it Southwest, on the news and stuff, planes have been grounded and people's travel plans have been delayed. There have been some storms around the country, or I guess around the world, that have prevented maybe some people from traveling when they otherwise would have. And so if you are traveling this week, you know, you have something coming up this week, be prepared for the trip to maybe take longer than it normally would, or that you would normally expect. I've just looked down and saw the expectation card again. So you normally, expect this trip to be very quick, and it could be, maybe it's a local trip. Maybe you're like late for work. Maybe somebody causes you to be late for work. Some jerk or something. Maybe you don't even know their sign, but the person that's causing you road rage in front of you, who's driving like they don't have a license or something like that, causes you to be late for somewhere you're trying to get to, whether it's work or somewhere else. And that may explain the taking over, the stealing of your peace, and how your travel's affected. Just to give you a small example, it doesn't have to be like so that you're flying somewhere. So if you don't have those kind of travel plans, you're not necessarily exempt from what may happen this week, and that would be attached perhaps to Mercury retrograde. Mercury does rule travel and communication and thinking and logic and all that kind of stuff. And so if there's gossip, if there is somebody thinking negatively about you, sending you negative energy, if there's travel problems, all of that could potentially be attributed to Mercury and its retrograde. And maybe will most affect you if you are perhaps ruled by Mercury, like myself, or Gemini, maybe Libra. We have, so that's like double Libra energy with the overall energy of justice, and with Libra being an air sign, and of course the last air sign being Aquarius. Mercury also rules the sign of Virgo, which for somebody like me is a lot of Mercury, because I don't know. Those of you who've been watching me for a while, I used to identify as a Gemini, Leo, Aquarius. And that was based on my typed up birth certificate. And only within the past few months, I have acquired a copy of my original handwritten birth certificate, like before it was sent to be typed up. And discovered that I'm actually not a Leo rising. I'm a Virgo rising. So now I got the double Mercury in addition to the double air. So just imagine what goes on in my head all day long. Anyway, enough about me. In terms of work and stuff, again, I don't want anybody to be paranoid. We do have an overall energy of justice upright. So things ultimately working out in our favor, or as best they possibly can for us, but there could be some, BS or foolishness. If there's work, or how this may affect you at work, could be that maybe you completed a project and somebody else very shamelessly tries to take credit for your work, a coworker, or I don't know, something could be off with like paperwork or something. Try to leave like a paper trail or backup, whatever it is you're doing, sort of like to prove that you have been doing things, and not only doing things, but the correct way. Because somebody could also try to, again, disrupt your peace at work by, blaming you for some sort of mishap or, issue, problem, something that doesn't get done properly. And so we don't want that. In love, if you are single and looking or open to it, then maybe you need to consider like somebody that's not your normal type, or consider like looking below the surface. You could meet somebody that, just, kind of, you would normally like take this person's a clown, because they just like try really, really hard to impress you, but normally you may dismiss them. In this case, given, the consideration that the Knight of Swords is actually showing up as a message to us, this person may not be the loser that they would otherwise come off as to an air sign under normal circumstances, just because they're like going out of the way. Because we don't like a braggart, you know what I mean? Like somebody that's like a show-offy type of thing. Air signs, we tend not to like that sort of behavior, and the person could be like that, or coming across like that, because they're trying to impress you, because they're trying to get your attention, because they're into you, they like you. So maybe give them another chance before you dismiss them, and like look below the surface, because that superficial them is not the real them. If you're in an did I say ongoing? I don't know what that might mean. Ongoing relationship. You're already in an existing relationship, in other words. Something may be bothering your partner. And if you sense this, you should ask them, like, what's up? So, I mean, that could really just be like sending a message too. I guess if you're in a committed relationship, you might not necessarily text the person, but maybe you do. You could text the person, or you could tell them face to face, like sending you love. I'm here for you if you need. If you don't want to, ask them exactly what's bothering them, because now I'm looking at the Hermit also. It's crossing, so they could be, they could have pulled back their energy. Or they may want to pull back their energy and work on this issue themselves. And so maybe you just want to let them know, remind them that you're around, should they want to be in community with you, instead of isolation or solitude by themselves, as the Hermit tends to be. And this also may again be involved specifically a Virgo, because we've got the Hermit, and the Hermit does represent the sign of Virgo. And along with that may also involve an Aquarius. This Hermit is holding a star in his hand. He pulled a star from the sky to put inside his lantern, to light his lantern with. And so, he's going to, even while he's in isolation, he's still going to be watching what's going on outside, and maybe watching a particular person who sort of, means like the world to him, or is a star in his eyes, is a shining light, is a beacon. In his mind, he may want to keep his eye on that particular person. So for some of us, this is going to be romantic. It's going to be involving a love situation. And so we're moving on to the Two of Swords in reverse, in the position of our surrounding energy that may involve other partnerships, or partnerships in general that we have, whether they are romantic, or they're familial, or they're having to do with work or friends. If anything, I would say probably our closest one-on-one relationships, so like seventh house type relationships, but they don't have to be romantic. It could be in, any of these types of people, parent, child, all that kind of stuff. Whatever type of relationship they may be, perhaps specifically because somebody has made a decision, someone in your surrounding energy, but not necessarily. These relationships becoming more important to you in your life, and maybe more important to the person in your surrounding energy with whom the relationship is deepening, just reaching higher levels. Sometimes we want to be careful though about balance, because twos are also about balance. So we don't want to put too much emphasis on, any one relationship or any one type of relationship. We have several relationships and different things in our lives that need to be priorities. Again, you may, need to prioritize your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your kids, but also your relationship with your mate, your relationship with your boss, or your, the person that works for you, whatever, your subordinate, whatever it is. We have to maintain all these relationships and like give them the appropriate time and attention, and keep them in there. Everybody has a lane, everything has a lane, and keep it there, which is what, twos in general mean. So now, also speaking specifically about the Two of Swords, you may need to talk some things out, having to do at work. This is the time to be seen as a team player by, the people with whom you work or for whom you work. If it has to do with love and relationship, we may want to be, or we're going to want to be like deliberate in our movements, in our actions, as particularly when it comes to romantic relationships, love relationships. We may be tempted to try to push something and move forward when we feel that it's deepening, right? Because there's an expectation. We see that something's happening. We see that, so we want to, speed it up, and don't do that. And that could be another reason why the Knight of Swords here again is in reverse. He wants to disrupt your peace. If you try to push the relationship too far, then one or both people are going to become overwhelmed or uncomfortable with the way or the direction in which things are going. So we don't want that. If you're technically single, somebody from your surrounding energy may be making an approach to you, to start something up. Could be an ex returning, because that's what the Hermit is. In love, the Hermit meaning in the tarot is pretty much always somebody who's coming back to rekindle a relationship from the past. So, it could be that, but it does not have to be an ex. Again, it could be a new person. This time my phone is on silent, but it's still making noise that we can hear, which doesn't usually happen. It's the second time it's happened this week. Anyway, what was I saying? If you're single and meeting new people, again, we've already went over what may, those situations may be. Maybe somebody with whom, you have to look below the surface. It may be somebody who you can't completely trust, at least right off the bat. So you're going to want to get to know them. We're not making this relationship solidified this week. But even with somebody returning, you may want to take your time and, let things fall into place naturally. Again, not force it, not push it, not rush anyone, including yourself, before they're ready to happen. Things are ready to move forward and things are ready to happen. Justice, our overall energy here, also very much about balance. So, letting things sort of flow as they will in a healthy way. What was the overall energy on this side? Oh, yeah, patience. The Seven of Pentacles. So, yeah, being patient and allowing things to grow on their own in a natural way, and then you harvest them when they're ready and not before. Moving on to the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Look at this, like no matter whether it's upright or in reverse, the way these two hands are from the divine, it looks like this is being handed to you in the upright form, and you're receiving it, right? So even in reverse, that is indeed what is happening. This card showing up in this placement to say that things are, or very soon will be, improving on the work front in terms of, or improving on the financial front in terms of our finances. It's important that we don't allow ourselves to think negatively about money. And I had this conversation the other day with some clients of mine, because they've just been having a really, really hard go of things it's been a couple months now. First, like the wife lost her job. The sister of the wife already wasn't working. Now, like the husband's been having some challenges at his work. The friend, her job is in danger, or she recently lost her job, and they're wanting to know if she might be able to get back into that same job. So the way she was talking, though, it's understandable. So I don't want to seem like I was being dismissive of her feelings or anything. But the way she was talking was so negative. So I just was like, I know it's easier said than done, but the first thing we have to start with is changing the way you speak over yourself and your finances, and your thoughts. If you believe, you have an expectation that something's going to change, and and a belief in that, what you're saying, what's coming out of your mouth, needs to match that. The universe can hear what you're saying. And it works that way when we speak positively too. So that's why when people are telling you, like the manifestation coaches and stuff, they'll say, speak about things as if you already have them, because the universe hears that and believes that you have it and wants to like sort of fortify that. So very important this week with the Ace of Pentacles showing up specifically in the placement of work and finance, that we watch our thoughts, watch the way we speak about money, watch our relationship, right? Twos are about relationship with money. Other people around us may have more, or whatever. Not a time for jealousy or to let that disrupt our peace. Okay. Just very important to think positively and to make the best of what we have in our lives, right? We're stable, or we're soon to become stable, and we're going to stay stable, is what the card says. This is a new beginning. Aces are still new beginnings. So this is a new beginning as it relates to finance. Money's coming in, security's coming in, and it's coming in to be around for a while, or to stay. So again, going back to work, I don't think I finished my thought about work specifically. You may need to consider asking for more money or more responsibility. I know that I've been talking about it, so I know the global economic situation with regard to, just again, companies all over the world and people all over the world. The outlook has been kind of bleak. Some of the largest companies in the world closing their doors, or some of their locations, doing hiring freezes, laying people off. I get it. I know. But when the card shows up in this placement, it is saying that, you may need to ask for more responsibility, or for a promotion, or for more money, or combinations of those. And if you've been thinking about leaving your current position, despite all that's going on in the world, maybe to start your own business or to work somewhere else, the card shows up to say that leaving is likely to be a very good thing for you. Not just like possibly, a good thing, just very likely to be very good. The right choice. So all in all, the reverse ace basically says good things are or will soon be happening, for you on the work front. So if you're out of work, same thing for you, like soon to find it. Of course, you've got to be proactive, get out there with your resumes and your interviews and stuff like that. But it's a good time. So moving on to the moon, it is upright in the position of love and relationship. I'm just noticing we have these dogs sort of howling at the moon, at this woman. We did just recently, and we are still in that energy, at least the way that I do my readings and read the energy. We are still in that period of the recent Cancer, which the moon also rules the sign of Cancer. Earth's moon does rule the sign of Cancer. We are still in that position, that the timing of the Cancer full wolf moon. So that may be what's causing some confusion to us all, maybe particularly to a female or feminine energy, but it doesn't have to be. The moon itself is a feminine energy. Some of us may be having situations going on with our menstrual cycles, and things like that. Sometimes your cycle may try to get like on track with the moon. They used to be able to tell like when it was coming. Women used to measure their cycle, like, and when it was coming, when it was time, by the moon, actually. I don't know why that's coming up with me right now. Maybe because I saw this red cloak in this female. I'm not sure where that came from, but it's for somebody, I guess. So that could become the placement that we need to talk about is love, though. But in general, again, this card can mean that there is confusion happening, and you sort of don't know. You might not know like where you're going, or even coming from, let alone what somebody else is thinking or doing or feeling. So all we can really do is sort of like just sit with that energy, with the confusion, with the uncertainty, and not try to force things, as I've said already, given the meaning also of the Knight of Swords in reverse, under which this moon card sits right, it sits right underneath it. So this is really telling us, do not push a relationship situation. Do not push a love situation. Allow it to flow. Because what you think you know, you don't necessarily know. Also think about that High Priestess in reverse that we started out with. And I said, the way she sees things are not necessarily what's actually happening. The moon showing up in this placement means, in addition to that, like the general confusion that it would already mean, this could be like a particularly emotional time in love and in love relationships. And that, because of that, things can easily become escalated. So again, you don't want to push things. You don't want to take anybody's peace. You don't want anybody taking your peace away. Take a break if you need to, pull back your energy if you need to. Jump into hermit mode if you need to. Don't make assumptions. Again, the way you see things or believe things to be may not be what they really are. Um, what else? Fight fair. Think about the justice card. Um, you know, just try to be a friend to your lover or love interest. Um, think about them. Think about your relationship. From a perspective of, this is somebody I care about. This is a friend, and that way you won't push, or maybe you can avoid pushing. Just be careful with people. Be careful with their feelings. Didn't Cardi B have a song like that? Be careful with me. I think she did. Those lyrics sound familiar. Be careful with me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Cardi B. Maybe one of her first songs or something. Oh, yes, yes. It was when her husband was like cheating on her or something. So anyway, I don't know if cheating is happening with anybody. Maybe you feel that that's what's going on. Again, don't make a presumption about anything like that, because what you think is happening may not be the actual case. So just chill. If you feel any kind of those kind of things happening and it's not something that you feel you can talk about, discuss. Remember I said, if something's bothering your partner, you may want to ask them about it. But if it's not something you feel like you can discuss, then just chill until this energy dissipates, passes. Pick your battles and don't be in a hurry to begin or even end maybe a situation, like, because if you make a presumption about something, for example, you might say, oh, you know what, they're doing this, or I feel this is happening, just forget it, like, I'm not going to try, forget this relationship, or forget me trying to return, or whatever it is. And this is definitely not the time to, like, base your decisions. The Two of Swords can be about decisions. Base your decisions on what you imagine is happening, because again, your imagination very possibly is wrong. Something was coming to me about this star pulling this. Is there a song like that too, about pulling a star out of the sky? I don't know. I keep hearing like pull the stars out of the sky for you, but I can't hear the beat and figure out what song it goes to. Because I'm also hearing that Eminem song. Can we pretend that airplanes, maybe because this is about travel and stuff, airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? I can use a wish right now. So somebody also, I mean, this hermit may also have to do with somebody manifesting a wish fulfillment that maybe has to do with relationship, or maybe has to do with this particular placement, which is, I might as well segue into it, physical health. All right, the hermit, physical health. So this card in this placement can mean like any sort of like regular practice or ritual could really be helpful to us right now in terms of our health. Like it could be basically anything. Meditation, deciding that we're going to go to the gym every day or every other day. We're going to take a walk every night after dinner. Um, Even I'm going to read a book. It doesn't have to be necessarily like physical exercise or labor. Any kind of progress, like regular process, might be helpful to us right now. Like any health problems that we have could be, sort of drawing our attention to a problem that is not really so much having to do with our body, but more so our life. Um, like a metaphor. Let me think of an example. Like, for example, our back bothering us can be like we are carrying too much, and maybe literally we've been carrying too much. We've been, doing a lot of, physical labor, but also metaphorically, we've been carrying too much, and so employing some sort of practice where we lighten our load. What would be a practice where you lighten your load? What if you've been carrying too much? Maybe going into hermit mode, saying, I'm going to take some time to myself every day for a half hour, for 15 minutes, for an hour, whatever it is. or again, every other day on a regular and consistent basis, so that this is lessened, then you'll find that maybe in your physical health, in your body, things also improve. Um, for some of us, it could be like cosmetic type stuff too. You know, you decide you're gonna wash your hair every day or every week, and you figure out some kind of ritual. I use these products, and this is to make me, the lavender is to whatever that essential oil does, and the peppermint is to cause this reaction. The eucalyptus is for this, and so while those things are sort of making you feel good emotionally, spiritually, because of the way that those essential oils affect us physically, they're also maybe improving your scalp health, right? Your hair health. So there's a dual purpose, but it is something that you are doing ritualistically that may not necessarily seem like intentionally putting effort into work. Like maybe you weren't doing it, you didn't take this on necessarily because you felt your scalp health was poor. But here we have these two benefits that you're getting from it. Your hair is, thriving, growing, getting thicker, whatever it is, and you're feeling better. Like the essential oils, the aromatherapy is having another effect on you. So last but not least, we're going to move into the Page of Swords and spiritual health. I was, sitting here talking like a New Yorker and moving my hands around. I'm realizing, as I say that to you, that for me, it's like getting my nails done. And it hasn't been ritualistically for me in a while, probably since the pandemic, because all of the places that I used to go to, the nail salons that I used to go to with any sort of regularity, including the ones that I had started to go to during the pandemic, just because they were open when my real place wasn't open, they're all closed now, like every last one of them. So I've mentioned that the guy James that I go to now, that's like the one place that is remaining in my immediate neighborhood or area, like easy walking distance, that I had started to go to, because again, like all my other regular places, they're all completely out of business, gone. So I still get my nails done, but that regularity that I used to get them done with is no more. Like I would get them done every week or every 2 weeks, whatever it was, whether they look good or they look like crap. How did that help me physically? Maybe my nails were in better health then. Maybe I just showed you the other day that one broke and I had to get a tip. It was one of my longest nails. It's this one. No offense, anybody, but yeah, it's this one. I had to get a tip. So maybe my nails were in better physical health when I was doing that ritual, and I should get back to it. All right, so that's an example for you. All right, so like I said, we're moving on to spiritual health in the Page of Swords. And as I mentioned about the Page of Swords, or about swords in general before, is that swords are about, or the energy of Mercury and air, metal, is about logic and, the way we think and the way we communicate and those things. And so with the Page of Swords and the placement of spirituality, because it's a court card, as is the case with this one, I don't know if I said it, some of these things can involve an actual person in your life that may be an actual air sign. Okay, they don't have to be. If they're not an actual air sign, they're giving off like air sign, vibes, tendencies, traits, energies. That would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I did mention that the Hermit is a Virgo. I don't know if I said the moon represents the energy of Pisces, although, as I did mention, Earth's actual moon rules the sign of Cancer. So this could be water signs at large: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, like maybe in that order. Again, the Justice card represents the sign of Libra. And over there we have the Seven of Pentacles. So that's not a court card or anything or a major arcana, but of course it is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this may involve an actual person in your life that is influencing you or significant in some sort of way, but more importantly, what the card means in that placement is that not everything can be visible. Not everything is like tangible. Not everything we can see, or not everything we all can see. Right? The scriptures say, "Let those who have eyes see," and that involves like people who have a different perspective, or maybe people whose third eye is open, like they can see what's happening. But not everybody is going to be able to see everything. And so, this is encouraging you that even if you can't see everything, and even if you just consider yourself a really logical person, well, like if this doesn't make sense, I don't believe it, that you try to open your eyes and mind to other things and explore like different spiritual belief systems that interest you. Okay. Even if after that you still don't completely buy into them, and it's more so about opening your mind, and realizing that not everything is going to be so simple and black and white. If you think your mind is already open, my mind is open, like how dare you, then this means to just open it up a little bit more. Okay, if you don't mind doing that. Let's get some clarification for at least some of these. Why don't we do that, since we have these here? All right, so maybe to go along with our major focus or our major energy, we have gift here. So somebody could be jealous of you. Somebody may try to actually take a gift. Again, this doesn't have to be a tangible gift that's in your hand. It could be a spiritual gift. Somebody maybe is jealous of a spiritual gift. They're jealous that you can see and they can't. And so they try to, again, steal your energy, steal your peace. For some of us, there may be somebody who does want to actually take something, physical away from us. Or more positively, somebody wants to give us a gift, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. They're thinking about it. It's on their mind and it's coming. Maybe it's delayed in its travel because, again, of Mercury retrograde potentially. The Two of Swords in reverse. So balance, relationships, toil, and labor. So this is about like working very, very hard at something. It too would break down to an 11 or a 2, like this card. Okay, and be about then potentially relationships or balance. For some, it's specifically having to do with our job. Again, maybe you're working very hard on something and you want to make sure that you are who is getting the credit for that. But also you want to be a team player. And if other people are giving ideas, even if you feel like your idea is best, then you still want to remain open and listen to other people's ideas and cooperate and collaborate with other people. Also, there may be an occasion to work particularly hard, or maybe a temptation to work particularly hard on a relationship rather than to let things flow. Ace of Pentacles. There's official person in reverse. Maybe this has to do, again, with you being a boss, right? Asking for more money. It's, this official person. It's card number 22, 13, or 4, or 11, 11. Thinking in terms of work and finding this is maybe about you being an authority, being a leader, being a boss, so maybe it might be time for you to take some sort of initiative. And if you're not the official person, speak to the official person about your growth or, opportunity. Moon, love and relationship. False person. This too is in reverse. So some of us may have gotten rid of a false person or may get rid of a false person this week. We may decide this person is taking my energy. This person is draining me. This person has drained me. This person I thought was different and I was wrong. And so maybe we've gotten rid of somebody, or we are getting rid of some. There's no reversals in this deck, but these cards keep showing up in reverse, so I'm just pulling them that way. Other meanings, again, if we're confused about somebody and we think, I mean, if you feel somebody might be a false person, especially in consideration of the Knight of Swords, which I said somebody may be not trustworthy, especially if there's somebody new that you're just now meeting, then, you know, you don't want to be completely dismissive of those feelings. You still got to pay attention to your intuition, particularly when the moon is showing up. But again, we don't want to just go off half-cocked and start like accusing people of stuff or pushing something in a direction that we may ultimately not want it to go in, or into believing things about people that we otherwise do trust and do want to give a chance to. We may want to again, let this energy dissipate before we take any kind of action. Also, this can be about, again, gossip. Gossip with the Knight of Swords in reverse, the Page of Swords showing up here. I said jealousy and things. Again, somebody trying to take away your peace. You may have a positive relationship that someone's jealous of. That's either currently going, or is your wish fulfillment, and somebody might be saying, "Oh, not that person," or talking badly or spreading rumors. And don't listen to those things and allow them to cause you to make a decision, Two of Swords in reverse, that you are later going to be sorry for. Okay. Physical health. We have great fortune. This too is in reverse. So again, y'all ain't never heard my phone this much, like the whole time I've been doing these readings, as it's been going off recently. I don't know what's happening. I apologize. And it's on silent, but it's not being silent today. Anyway, I don't know why these cards are showing up in reverse. Again, there are no reversals actually in this deck. But I think the great fortune showing up in reverse is talking about those things that we could be giving ourselves, right? How we could be showing ourselves value and care by taking the time out to implement some regular rituals that are meant to, build us up, to grow us, to grow our fortune that is us, your very being, right? And lastly, this Page of Swords, this card too was in reverse. It is main female, so maybe particularly for a feminine energy, or the divine feminine. You use maybe more so than a masculine, perhaps, needing to really explore some, different spiritual practices and ideas and concepts this week. And or even for a masculine, like I said, the Page of Swords is here, and that can be it's a court card. It can mean that an actual person is involved in this situation or is significant to you as it relates to spirituality. Maybe it's having to do with a spiritually based relationship. I did mention the divine feminine because that's who the main female refers to as me. So maybe you are a masculine, that this Page of Swords is actually male or masculine, who, you're like, I don't know about soulmates and twin flames. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't get it. I'm not, whatever. But you are intrigued because you do feel that there is some sort of maybe special connection or different type of relationship between you and this particular female or feminine energy. Then this could be, a good week for you to delve into that sort of thing a little bit more. Begin to look into it, investigate, whether that means by, contacting her or trying to further your relationship. Again, the Two of Swords in reverse is about relationships deepening. So whether that, and they're crossing here, and this card is also a 2. So whether that means, working on the deepening of that relationship or allowing it naturally to deepen by engaging, or that means, reading up on, maybe again, doing some, starting a ritual, reading up on, doing your own research about soulmates or about twin flames or about soul ties or, karmic relationships or connections or whatever it is. And well, let me be careful when I say karmic relationships, because the karmic has become like a derogatory term in this community of spiritually, based relationships. But even the relationship with the divine feminine is technically a karmic relationship, because karmic relationships just means relationships that, sort of divine, of the universe, of God, however you want to put it, and containing a valuable lesson, great fortune for us to learn. So what would make the distinction between the relationship that people say is with the karmic versus the divine feminine is the one with the karmic is you learn the lesson and then that soul contract is ended and no more. You're meant to end that connection, or the universe ends it for you sometimes. Whereas the one with the divine feminine very possibly meant to go on and to remain and to be stable, forever. Okay? So that's the difference there. Let's pull a couple of messages from this one. I'm not going to use that one. It's sideways. The silence between us is really bothering me. Is this really over? That came up in my reading the other day too. This one's upside down. I'm not going to read that one. Sideways. This time apart has given me an opportunity to pause and to reflect on the mistakes that I've made. So maybe somebody's going to right their wrongs. Okay, remember justice. I stare at your picture a lot. You are so beautiful. We'll do one more. Oh, and for somebody, you and I have run our course. I'm sorry, but the answer is no. And I think that is for this person. So that's the majority of you who watch. Those first three messages, one or more, are for you. And for some people, where I said this moon card and the placement of love and relationship, for some has to do with somebody who is not right, who you're realizing is, untruthful, disloyal, a fake, a phony, a false person, a thief. Then you deuces to that person. All right. And you're telling them, yeah, it's the end of the road. We run our course. You are a karmic relationship. You are the karmic, and this relationship is over. All right. So we've come kind of full circle on that conversation. I hope you guys have enjoyed this reading. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. Namaste.